There once was a boy who had everything, wealth, charm, and the kind of smile that could melt hearts, until it twisted into something cruel. He laughed at those who had less. Especially one boy. A poor, quiet soul who only ever asked for kindness. But life has a strange way of balancing the scales. This is the story of how arrogance met humility. And how karma always keeps receipts. In the heart of a bustling city called Boston, where luxury cars raced past fruit carts, lived a boy named Arman. 17 years old, tall, and effortlessly handsome, Arman was the definition of a spoiled rich kid. His father owned a chain of luxury hotels. His mother draped herself in silk and diamonds. And Arman wore his arrogance like a designer coat, loud, expensive, and impossible to ignore. He studied at St. Xavier's Academy, an elite private school, known for its ivy-covered walls and stricter-than-death dress code. There, Arman was the king. Not because he was smart, no, not at all, but because he had what others didn't, money, connections, and a gang of followers who laughed at every insult he hurled. Every morning, Arman arrived at school in a sleek black Audi, sunglasses perched on his nose, acting like the world owed him gratitude for simply existing. Then came Aman. Aman was everything Arman despised. A scholarship student from a slum. Skinny. Quiet. Wore his shoes until the soles cried for mercy. Always had second-hand books in his bag and half a lunchbox. His eyes, tired but kind, always looked down, never making trouble. He was the perfect target. "Hey Aman," Arman called out one morning, loud enough for the hallway to echo. "Did your cow eat your homework again? Or couldn't you afford paper this time?" His cronies roared. Aman didn't flinch. He simply offered a faint smile and walked on. That only made Arman angrier. Why didn't he fight back? Why didn't he cry? Every day, the mockery escalated. During lunch, Arman would flick pieces of bread at Aman's table. During gym class, he'd accidentally trip him. Once, he even posted a fake video online, edited to make Aman look like he stole from the cafeteria. The video got 1,000 likes. Aman didn't say a word. Not to the teachers. Not to the principal. Not to the few kids who tried to talk to him. Until one rainy evening, everything changed. It was Thursday, and the school was closing early due to heavy rains. Thick gray clouds smothered the sky, and thunder grumbled like an angry beast. Arman's driver messaged that the car had broken down a few blocks away, near the edge of Rahim Basti. "Great," Arman muttered, flicking rain off his Gucci shoes. He pulled his hood over his head and started walking, phone in hand, annoyed and oblivious to the cold droplets soaking through his jacket. He passed empty chai stalls, muddy roads, and shivering dogs. As he neared the slums, the real world began to reveal itself. Children with bare feet played in puddles. Women sat on wooden crates, slicing vegetables under tarpaulin roofs. The smell of wet earth, kerosene, and hope hung in the air. And then, he saw him. Aman. Standing under a broken streetlight, holding a polythene bag over a stack of books, talking to a frail woman with sunken cheeks. His mother. Arman squinted and watched. Aman handed her a strip of medicine and smiled. The woman hugged him, coughing into his shoulder. Something shifted in Arman, something uncomfortable. Not guilt. Not yet. But a flicker of something human. Before he could turn back, his foot slipped on the muddy path, and he fell flat into the sludge. Laughter erupted, not from Aman, but from a group of little kids nearby. Arman stood up, furious and embarrassed. "Do you know who I am?" he shouted. The kids scattered, except for one, a boy, no more than 6. His eyes were deep and black as night, and his smile didn't match the innocence of his age. "Everyone falls, brother," the boy said. "Some just take longer to hit the ground." Then he vanished. Gone. As if he'd melted into the rain. That night, Arman had a strange dream. He was standing in the school corridor, but everything was reversed. The lights flickered red. Lockers were twisted open like mouths, breathing fog. His friends stood with backs turned, whispering words he couldn't hear. Then came a voice. Distant. Familiar. "Mock me again, laugh again." He turned. Aman stood at the end of the hallway. But his face was pale, eyes glowing silver, and his feet didn't touch the floor. You laughed at my pain, the voice hissed. Now I will laugh at your fear. Arman woke up sweating, heart hammering like a trapped animal in his chest. It was just a dream, he told himself. But it wasn't. Over the next few days, things got weird. The faucet in his bathroom turned on by itself. His reflection blinked even when he didn't. He kept hearing whispers in the silence, poor boy, who's laughing now? During class, every time he looked at Aman, the lights flickered. Once, he swore Aman's shadow stretched longer than it should have. One evening, his driver dropped him off a few blocks from home. As Arman walked, he noticed a figure following him. He spun around. Nothing. But as he turned back, he saw muddy footprints beside his own, appearing one by one, without anyone walking next to him. He ran. 1 week later, Arman's world cracked. His father was arrested for financial fraud, front-page news. The hotels were sealed. Their house was raided. His mother collapsed from the shock. Overnight, Arman went from golden boy to media disgrace. Friends stopped calling. Teachers avoided him. People whispered as he passed. He returned to school a week later, wearing a borrowed blazer and eyes ringed with sleepless nights. No Audi. No followers. No arrogance. Only silence. And Aman. He sat beside Arman during lunch, uninvited, and placed a neatly wrapped sandwich on the table. You haven't been eating, Aman said softly. It helps. Arman couldn't look at him. He wanted to speak, wanted to apologize, but his throat closed up with shame. That night, the dream returned. But this time, Aman was smiling. Not cruelly. Not eerily. Just, sadly. Karma is not about revenge, the dream Aman whispered. It's about balance. Arman woke up in tears. He remembered every moment of mockery. Every laugh. Every cruel word. And now, the roles were reversed. But Aman wasn't laughing. He was helping. That was the difference. And yet, something still didn't feel right. Why was that strange little boy in the slums so familiar? Why did the haunting feel unfinished? Because karma wasn't done yet. Not even close. Subscribe for part 2.